This is how we do it. This is how we
Yeah, I
do
wasn't.
it.
You caught me
Hey,
off guard. I
everyone,
wasn't
welcome to
expecting
today's
that.
show. It is Thursday, and we had a choppy day yesterday, just like we mentioned. But let me tell you guys, there is a big move that's coming soon. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through everything that we go through today because what we want to do is determine the direction of that. So let's get to the charts. Let's get it figured out. And then we're going to see what happens. B. Wellington, good morning.
Good morning. How is everyone today? I feel like we're always coming to class here, and school is in session. So look, we this is the daily. I just want to kind of highlight a couple of things. Man, I know I got a lot of things going on here on this chart. But if you look at this red line here, this is POC. This is on the daily. That runs at roughly about 1549. I mean, I'm taking in on this, it basically gives you the volume profile for everything that you see here. So on the daily, these are major levels that we're talking about. And here we've got POC for this probably about that 1630 area, and here we are sitting at 1327. So we're kind of sitting in this range as Clutch mentioned. As we talked about, we've got a kind of a low volume node here. We're kind of breaching on it, which is that, kind of the area that we're in here now, kind of this 1330 area up to this 1440 area. I mean, if we start getting moving in this direction, I expect us to get up to the 1629 just based upon the daily. Now, because it's the daily, it's going to take a little while to get there. So we may have some pullbacks, in the meantime. So let's take a look at that as well. So again, you can see here we've got kind of these low volume nodes, which is where some of these charts are, especially if you have a low volume node and you've got a vector candle that's in position. That's really a good indication that if we do start getting some momentum in that direction,
We just blow right
uh,
through that guy, huh?
yeah, that we're going to blow right through that. So, but we can go either way. I mean, could reject. I mean, we are at, this is the hourly. I mean, I know it's kind of, let me spread it out a little bit. But, when you look at this, we're kind of bouncing in between the 50 and the 200 on the 1 hour. So you've got a bunch of folks that probably see what we're seeing and are trying to play that breakout to the upside. I know I did that yesterday, kind of got chopped out a little bit. But the opportunity still exists up here, and it's a very good risk reward, relative to moving up to the upside, because we do have the 800 here as a natural resistance as we move up, and so we also have last week's high up here, which they always tend to get back to. Just because there's liquidity that sits up here. We've got this low volume node in this area as well. Not low volume node, but this imbalance in the chart here. And we've also got on balance kind of hidden to the downside here. That could pop back up. But we really haven't had any volume. And we've had this big volume spike in here. This is the Fed meeting that brought us back down. But, if you look at the volume here, we've had a couple spikes relative to some vectors, but nothing that produced any follow through. So again, looking for some volume to come into the chart in order to bring us through this zone. I mean, if you start seeing vector candles coming above this 200, just expect us to get all the way up into this 1480s area, maybe up to that 1549. And ultimately, if you want to stay in the trade, I think we're heading to that 1600 number. But getting up to this 800, we'll probably pull back from there. So this initial move here, if we did go up and especially start breaking these peaks and get up to this area, I would be looking to take profits, on any type of long. And then as we come back down and it holds and then starts to come back off, I think that's going to be the real move that really breaks through the 800 and maybe gets up to this area. It's all going to depend on, kind of longs and shorts in the area. But just looking at today, I mean, we don't have a lot of news coming out. But I'm still, we had a little bit of a move this morning to the downside. We've had some liquidity that was below us on the long side that kind of built up, and so they took some of that out. But we're still holding on this green line, which is this 1314. It's also the pivot point, which generally is a turning point for the chart. So we're kind of right at that area where it could go either way. We've come out here. We've kind of got this line, which is kind of represents this bottom range here, as you can see from the profile, the volume profile. on a smaller time frame. But we're kind of holding it, and so if it continues to hold, I imagine that we start to move out from that area. Looking at the other things like OI, 5.2 billion, this really hasn't changed. Not a lot has changed on that end. Looking at some of the things, I see what you're talking about as well as far as something moving. I mean, this is on the hourly. We've
You
got
can
the
start seeing those Bollinger Bands squeezing together.
Squeezing together, and so we should start to get some ping pong action here, and then it kind of move from there. We've had, OI is basically it's been reduced. We haven't had any real moves where OI has gotten on board. Your spot, our aggravated CVD spot, which is generally in this indicator, is going to be FTX and Binance, who are the real players in the spot market. And see, we're kind of ticking up here. And if we look at this over a longer term, looks like spot has come down quite a bit. So we may get a move to the upside. I mean, that's kind of part of it. On balance volume as it relates to Binance on this end, not we're not like in any type of extreme levels. And then this ADX, you're kind of looking for divergences here. This is headed down, but again, we're at the bottom of that range. This would indicate that we're going up as well. So looking at the stock market, pre-market futures, we're down, which again, we open up in about 3 minutes. Always, when we're down like this, I always expect some type of move to the upside off of these. That doesn't mean it'll stay to the upside, but that does mean that sometimes you kind of get people that, use this as kind of a trappy move going into the open. From a news standpoint, we've got the 29th, we got initial job claims, 193,000 jobless claims that's out there. Expected was 215,000. So jobless claims are actually going down. Continuing jobless claims are pretty steady. This numbers came right in line. Domestic product revision. These aren't real impactful numbers to me outside of the initial job claims. But again, we talked yesterday about that vacancy number. Really what they're going to be looking at is this core PCE, the price index, which is a producer price index, which means this is what businesses are experiencing from a inflation standpoint internally. And then we've got consumer spending, disposable incomes. But relative to these numbers, we've already had some information that came out. The consumer confidence index was super high, so people are still pretty high on the market, pretty high on the overall economy. So I would imagine that this real consumer spending and disposable income numbers come in pretty positive as well. But core CPC tomorrow will be something that we're taking a look at. And, market's about to open. That's all I got on my end. What's going on with you, Clutch?
Well, let's take a look at it.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Are you making fun of me?
Yeah, I am. But it's a good fun. I enjoy your impressions.
My enthusiasm? Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This is High Block. And as you can see, we're flat again. We're also balanced on the liquidations. There is a gap here. What happens when we normally have a gap? Expect a bunch of ranging to fill this in and trap. So based on this, I don't think that this big move we're expecting is going to happen yet. May happen tomorrow, may happen early next week. It's coming, guys, but patience is, if there's one thing anything trading has taught myself and V. Wellington, is patience is a very crucial thing. And if you're not patient, there's a lot of easy ways to lose money when you deal with this type of market.
Easy.
So let's go look at Bookmap to see if we can get a better picture, because right now this is telling me that we're just going to be hanging out most of the day today. Let me get Bookmap over here, and then I will show you guys what's going on. All right. Here we have it. Here's Bookmap. We did have some long volume that's starting to come in right here at 1327, 1328. And as you can see, we're still really nice and balanced. We're going to be looking to break out of 1350, get up to about 1360. If we can do that, we're going 1400 and maybe even beyond. However, if we get rejected up there, expect us to come back down to this 1320 area again, and then we would be wanting to see if that holds, or if we get rejected. If we get rejected, if it doesn't hold and we break through it, expect us to get down to 1260 and 1260 be in that support area. If we break below that, definitely expect a bunch of lower prices. But right now, they are keeping a very tight ship on right where we're at, just because they're wanting to try to get as many people on board for the wrong direction. So I think it's very important that we go in and we look at all the, what do you call those, trading techniques that most people use, EMA crosses, golden crosses, whatever you want to look at. Pay really close attention, and what we're going to do is we're probably going to do the opposite, because if everyone's thinking it's going to go one direction, I'm going to go the opposite, because that's how they set these traps up. I wish I had better news for you guys this morning, but right now we need to be playing bounces or breakouts of these ranges, and unfortunately it's something that we all need to just sit back and be patient for and let this happen, because if you're not, we're in a very crowded area for trading right here, as you can see, and us personally here on Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros, we do not like to get in trades where they're crowded, because there's a lot of uncertainty that comes with that, and just as you can see, it's really unclear on price direction right now at 8:33 Tuesday morning. Market just opened. So pay attention to those ranges and get ready to play that breakout. And then hopefully, like I said, there's a big breakout coming. But when is it coming? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, may not be till next week, but it's definitely on its way. So you guys get ready for that. That's all I got. I wish I had more that I could really hand out over to you guys, but right now that's just the way it looks. Looks like B. Wellington, are you there?
Nope. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, you can't see me? I can see me.
Your internet's too slow.
Oh, my internet is on point, dog.
Hey, man, he's out. He's out in the jungle, baby.
I got great internet.
Oh, there you are. Hey, dog.
That was you.
Wait, so we can see you. Oh. What was that?
Yeah, I mean, look, no position is still a position, right? So waiting and staying on the sidelines is still, that's part of the game. You can't be in a trade 24 hours a day. There's not going to be moves to be made all the time. They're building positions one way or the other. We'll see. We'll see what everybody else does first. Like Clutch says, and then we do the opposite. So, we'll figure out if longs jumped on board. I mean, yesterday it was pretty, yesterday morning it was pretty clear that, shorts had kind of, dominated from a liquidation standpoint. And then come by the afternoon and the evening time, longs have gotten on board and basically like kind of taken over as far as liquidity is concerned. And then we kind of had that drop, kind of range drop this morning, take out some of the liquidity. So they're basically just chopping it up, see where the majority of the folks are going to place their bets. And so we need to wait until, those bets are in. And when they just make their move, we need to be on top of it, from that perspective. So that's the strategy. That's the play. And today's kind of a watch and see type of day.
All right, guys, there you go. We have it. Sit back, be patient, stay frosty. Do me a favor. Have a great day. Until next time, I'm not going to be back here till Monday. I got fun shit to do on Friday. AMF.